Oh, that's great. Literally the minute that I need to click live, my internet stops. So I'm on 4G now. Hey, Anthony, thank you so much for joining me today and talk a little bit about your experience in recruitment, digital recruitment to be precise. We have half an hour today, and yeah, let's just get into some of the questions I prepared. First of all, can you tell me something about yourself?
Sure. So, my name is Anthony. Started out in recruitment almost 6 years ago. Started in agency recruitment, really in various industries. So, consulting, technology, banking, e-com, fast-moving consumer goods, mainly on technology roles. So, cloud, network, security, data engineers. But also a lot of architectural type positions, so cloud, data security, but also a lot of work in the enterprise architectural space. As you progress during your career, of course, you also start to get some exposure to some more senior hires like heads of directors, C-level positions. And that's basically what I've done previously. Since last year, I'm active as corporate recruiter at Miele X. Here, I'm the dedicated recruiter for our data analytics department. So I've built out the whole team, and besides this, I support some other departments where I need it.
Yeah, you helped a lot of people find their job, right? A job they love,
I
and I
have to
think
say the team.
yeah,
No, please continue.
yeah, and so especially I know I mean I don't know all the other clients you worked for, but we worked a few times together, and I see that people really love the process and they really start a new career, and they're so happy to start this new job. It's amazing to see. I think you have done a big part of that. So yeah, that's I love working with you. Um, if we look at the digital recruitment sector, where do you think it's moving right now?
Um, and then in terms of trends, or or do you think like what's important in the market?
Like yeah, trend. So you see a lot of organizations are hiring new digital professionals. Let's talk about web analysts or CRO specialists or these kinds of people that help basically to do more sales. So you have web shops, you have retail, they all want to sell more online, give a better experience to their customers, and these web analysts, they are really helping to do that. And I see that um, well, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I see more and more organizations that understand that digital is a separate part and it shouldn't be just a part of IT, but it's really a different kind of business. And how do you see that?
mm, to be honest, that's not something um, that I experience. At least, like if you look at my current assignment, um, yes, e-commerce is a big team, but we're the digital hub of
Yeah.
of a big brand, of course. Um,
So
no,
how do
that's
you
not.
guys do it right now? It is a separate entity, right?
Yeah. Oh, so in terms of we set up a digital hub really to start the whole digital transformation. So within Miele, we're responsible for the direct to consumer channels, but also the pure players, as for instance the Amazon and the Coolblue. Um, and yeah, that is really to create more impact because if you look over the whole business, it was a strategic choice to pick Amsterdam, for instance, because we have a lot of digital talent here that is available. The Netherlands is an attractive country for expats, of course. So that's basically why we made this decision to do it like this.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I do see Netherlands as maybe after Brexit that more and more people came this way as well, because it's I think one of the closest countries from the UK to Europe. Within your department, can you explain about the different parts? What kind of people do you recruit and what they do?
So, yeah, it's actually nice to see that our department became really big. Um, when I started, I think we had like 3, 4 people. We're now around 30-ish. And within our department, we cover five. We have five teams. We have our data governance. Therein, we have our data quality manager, consent manager. Um, we have our data integration team, so the where we have our data engineers, data architect,
Hmm.
conversion rate optimization. They focus on how to improve the conversion rate of our web pages. Our web analytics team, where we have our web analysts, and then our data visualization, that's creating all the dashboards with all the data we have available.
And these people are super easy to find, right?
No. You know better. No, of course, it's quite a challenge to attract them. What helped me is that we have a nice brand, of course, but yeah, you do see that the market is rapidly changing, um, and yeah, you don't attract people with just a nice job description nowadays.
So what was your, did you put in place some kind of strategy or you just went at it and learn as you go?
I think that the most important thing now that you can do as a recruiter, but also as an organization, is like really speak to the market. I mean, of course, not everyone wants to work for you, but like speak to the talent that's out there, speak to your applicants, see what they like about your vacancy or your company and what they dislike or what makes them successful in their current role or what do they lack in their current position. And I think like that are things that you can use to go to market, maybe adjust certain things in your job description, role, or potential even your recruitment processes. Um, yeah, to be successful. I think that recruitment is always changing, of course, so it's never easy. So to say that I would blame a difficult market, I think that's a very easy way to say that you did not try everything you could
That you
to
suck at
get.
recruitment. Yeah.
I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that's where you show where you can really show the difference. If it's hard, that means yeah that you have to get creative. And so how many you started with Miele and you got a challenge like you needed a lot of people.
Mm.
So I think from the start, from the get go, you had to make some kind of strategy. Like we need 50 people, for example. How are we going to do this? Did you make some kind of planning, or did you start with a certain kind of role, or did you make decisions on that?
Yeah, so for me, what was very important is because is because we have yes, we have had a lot of vacancies, um, but you need to prioritize. I mean, there are other teams that are waiting on, like, yeah, one of the other teams is logical, but I tried to prioritize like what was most urgent. I mean, if there's one team that's empty while there's another team that's waiting on the results of that team, then that team obviously goes first. So I really tried to see like, okay, what should I prioritize? Then based on that, I started building the other departments. So within our situation, it was really the data integration team because yeah, we needed our data platform, of course. So I started with the head of data integration, data architect, data engineer, um, and then I started moving over to the other departments or the other teams.
And did you decide that, or did you talk with the people and the managers, and they decided it? How did that go?
So yes, so I do have a lot of contact with my data director, of course. So we discussed the priorities in the team. But I think that as a recruiter, you should also be proactive and think about what does the business need, because um, let's be honest, as a recruiter, you have a lot of things to do, a lot of different stakeholders. In this position, you also get a lot of applicants, but you're also still actively approaching the market yourself on, for instance, LinkedIn. And I think that's important as a recruiter to be proactive and think for the team, because maybe there are people in the teams that are thinking things that they will not say to other people, but I also feel responsible to actually keep the people and yeah, think what's best for them. And that's what I really tried to do by prioritizing certain positions to make sure that they could do their job better, because there are certain, yeah, departments that could not make progress. without other teams, and that's why I worked the way that I worked.
Okay. So one of the key things is to really make a priority in the roles that you have to fill. If you only have one, it's clear. But if you need 100 people, then you need to make a decision. And yeah, so first things
What's
first.
the relation?
Okay.
Yeah, what's the
Wh- wh-
relationship to the other teams?
Yeah, exactly. So who's well, you have to decide it against, I think, together with the business.
Mm.
And what was one of the challenges that you faced? Because I myself know already some things that you faced, like candidates that were just at the last in the process where you already spent hours and hours with them, and then they just pull back or never let hear from them again. But what are some of the things for you that you said, well, this was really annoying or this was really challenging?
Mm. So besides the challenges, and that's where I want to dive in. So after this, um, in my processes, I never try to treat my candidates like as the other. So I always customize the process based on the needs or where a candidate stands or if they have multiple processes. And based on that, I try to create a process that works for them. Because with some candidates, you need to move quicker, as we've experienced together. Some people really want to make a good decision based on other conversations that they're having with other companies. But I would say what could be challenging is keeping people engaged, of course, because you don't. Eventually, you cannot control everything in the process. So it could be that you do everything you could do to make a candidate happy, and then you know how it goes. Then a day later, life happens, and then they're gone again, or
Yeah.
they don't show up for interviews, or they don't make an assessment because they
We
have
literally,
five to do, and they
we
also need to
literally
work.
we literally had one guy that could start, and then at the absolute end of the process, it turned out that he needed to move from Russia, and he had two cats that couldn't go with him, and was the decision for him not to go. Yeah, what it and like you can make so many checklists as you want, but I never asked if they have pets if they want to move. Like that's now a question I should ask. Are there anything that can hold you back in moving to the Netherlands? But you are not just focusing on the Dutch market, right? You are focusing internationally.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. But that's why I think that the most important thing you can do also as a candidate is like be transparent, like what's important for you. So we can take this into account. And if this, in this case, could mean that it's about your pets, which I understand, then
Yeah.
tell us because then we can take things into okay. This was a weird situation, but then we can take things into account. And I think that it's a shame for both parties as well as for you as a candidate, but for us as organization or recruiter as well, is that if you're doing all your effort and then within a couple of days time the whole situation changed because things that you were not aware of, even though
Yeah.
you tried to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah, I think sometimes candidates they just want to feel the water and just see what's out there, and then it gets real quick, and then they start to ask themselves these questions: do I really want this? Or when it actually gets real and they get an offer, they start to think in a different way, because it's one thing to think that you want to go there, but actually another thing to book a ticket and completely change your life. So I do understand these things, but yeah, we have to do everything we can to make them understand this early in the process.
Exactly, but tell
um,
us, even for you
yeah.
as an agency, if you work with me and you tell me, "Hey, Anthony, I'm currently working with this candidate. He's not sure. At least I'm aware, and I can adjust the process and just
Yeah.
try to give all the information this person need to make an informed decision." But yeah,
In this case, I
I
didn't
don't
know. Well, but it can happen, of course. Hey, and so, what are other lessons learned, and what would you do differently now if you would start it over again?
know. If I would do things differently, um, I'm not sure if I really would. Um, Because, like I said, if you really try to do your best to understand people and try to take everything into account, um, then it's still normal to lose candidates. I mean, you cannot control everything. So make sure that you have the time. Make sure that you're available, because that's that already means a lot to a lot of people. Because not every recruiter is always available, like you and me. Like you can text me, LinkedIn me, whatever. Um, I mean, like, and if you're always available to talk and and show that you listen to people and that you're there and that you really want to help them, um, what can I do more? Sometimes it just doesn't work. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work for some reason that we could not control, then yeah, it was not meant to be.
What I see with a lot of organizations, and this is also what something that I want to share with the viewers. I see that they don't have a clear process of, or they do, and it takes a lot of time of the recruitment. So we're gonna look for candidates, and then there need to be like 3 or 4 interviews. Needs to be an assessment, a check of references or diplomas, or a case that they need to discuss. But all these things can be planned upfront. You can even schedule sometimes in the calendars already, like just put a placeholder in the calendars of the managers, because usually that's the big problem. They're going to be on holiday, and then that guy's on holiday, but they both need to be there. And then it easily takes 2 months. And the competition is just snatching up the good guys. So yeah, I think that should be main priority. Like try to get it as quick as possible and as lean as possible, and the process really clear upfront. Which dates are you going to make a decision? Which dates are you going to do the next step? That can that will allow you to snatch up the good guys within 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, about let's go to the next question, because there's basically you see all data or digital departments worldwide growing. Everybody has seen that data is so important, and it will create extra value, smarter way of doing business, and more effective. And that's why it's so hard to find people, because the supply is smaller than the demand.
Hmm.
Even more important, just to attract them, is to retain them, because if they're gone in 1 year, yeah, what then
Yeah,
but yeah, then you have like a leaking ship, and you can get the new guys in, but if they're falling away on the back end. So what you guys do for that? What kind of tips do you have?
so I think that one thing that the last 2 years have showed us that everything is changing, has changed, but also that things could be more efficient. Um, and it's also made sure that a lot of people now really know like what they do want and what they don't want. And I think that because of these things, like for instance, that there are some basics that are never going away. Like let's take that remote working. Like a lot of people are really happy with the whole work-life balance because they don't need to travel for 1 hour one way and 1 hour back. They can spend more time with their family. They have more time to go to the gym or to maybe to study or to read. So what I think that as an organization, it is very important, like to not only think, okay, I need to fill this seat, but also what can we really offer our employees, because just the salary is not enough anymore. So also if you look at then I take a step back again to what we do. We try to have a lot of events. We try to keep people engaged, yeah, by these events, but we're also looking at like what can we improve for our employees. So we take time to consider topics like mental health. We have sporting events together. We do a lot of personal development, mindfulness. We have an app, that you can track like how many steps you take a day, and then there's a sort of competition linked to it. Like I really think that organizations should think about, okay, how can we make sure that people want to come to the office, for instance, or that they feel welcome and part of the family. And I think that's how a lot of organization will win in the future, because people have options. The candidate shortage will become bigger, and the only way that you can make a difference is to show that the people that you hire, that you really care for them and that you want to see them grow and make them better. I think that's
Yeah,
how you will make the difference in the future.
and the key thing is to how do you show that, right? So how do you like you said, like you can organize a sporting events and these kind of things, but then maybe everybody's doing it. How do you really get it across to the candidate? And I think that you don't have to answer, because I don't think there's a clear answer for it, but just try different things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what I mean is, and you would have that as well with clients. You still have a lot of organizations that are saying, yeah, but it's just not possible. But okay, but what is possible, and what are you doing to actually improve this? So for instance, like, is your HR team working on okay, what's the current situation? What's the feedback that I get from employees or from applicants, or maybe from reviews of people that they've spoken to before, and how can we incorporate this in the strategy for the future? And yeah, are you really listening to your people? And I think that that's how you will learn what people want from you, and how you can make a change or a difference.
So listen to your employees, but also to the people who are in your process, who might pull back, and that you really find out what's the reason, and then you can improve on it, and it continuously keep that improving going on. And then I think that's the way to go, because something you do right now might not work in a year, and that's the truth at this point. So you are working as a corporate recruiter right now, Miele, but you have seen many different agencies, or many different companies. From your point of view, as maybe an external recruiter, what are the biggest lessons you learned, and what could be the value of working with agencies?
Yeah, number one, communication. A lot of times, a lot of agencies could be quite pushy, and I know I've been on the other side, and I'm still on the other side. But what I've learned as a corporate recruiter is that sometimes the solution that an agency thinks they have, like, it just doesn't work because you don't have the details from the other side. So I think communication, number one. Number two is like really the relationship. Like, I can take you as an example. There need to be trust between each other. And what I notice is that a lot of times what agencies do is they just try to get their candidate over the fence, even though maybe the recruiter already said no, or they try to cherry pick positions. Like, I've seen situations wherein organizations ask you to work on a certain position. You cannot fill this one, but you keep pushing on a role that they did not want to share, and makes recruiters of the team feel awkward, because that's not what they demanded, but they still want to be nice, because eventually they are not here to block you. They also have the objective to fill these positions, but it's important to build, to have this good relationship and to work together, because eventually we also want the vacancy filled. So I think that in that sense, you should really work on how can we get a good process that works for both parties, to make sure that we both get what we want. Because
Yeah,
you've seen it.
no, I completely agree. Like and I think this is the most important thing. You should, and maybe everybody's saying that they're doing it, but I see that not many recruiters are actually doing it. And maybe it's if you just start, you just want to get success, and you want to earn some money. But the main thing is to solve the problem. And if you get in, even if you place somebody, but within a few months it turns out that he's not the right guy, then you didn't do a good job, and eventually you will lose your client, because if that happens two times, yeah, you're just trying to sell them people, but it's not the solution that you're selling. And I think that's what we're trying to focus on. But what's your experience with us, for example?
No, I think you do a good job. But the thing is, we can have a we can have a nice chat. You know that there's a nice relationship. I know that when I call you, that you yeah, deliver me the right people, but also that you listen to what I want. And if I tell you, okay, look, this is not going to work for this reason, or now I cannot do this, then you know that I'm not saying that to block you, because if I can, I will make it work. But like, to get back on the last point, like, but it's the same what people try, what some agencies try to do, that they say, okay, I've shared you this candidate. I was quicker than your internal recruiter. Like, what's the point of being of earning commission? Um, because you sent a candidate earlier. Like, the point of an agency, at least that's what I try to do, is to add value, to
Yeah,
give them people that they cannot find themselves. And if
exactly.
that's not what you're doing, then why do you want to do business together?
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to they are fishing in the same pond basically, and it's just who gets to the candidate the quickest, and that does happen. But on the other hand, I also see that sometimes I help an agent or a company, and I make the candidate aware of this company, and then if you don't communicate correctly, candidate will maybe also apply to that company directly to see, hey, and they are not aware that they're doing something wrong, but sometimes it's just miscommunication. I have seen that. So in defense of some recruiters, I would say. But I think in the end, the main thing should be to solve the client's problems. And if it's not you that can provide the solution, yeah, then just get out of the way. And I think more recruiters should work that way. Try to choose your own niche. Don't just work for everybody. Work for clients you can actually help. And yeah, I think that's where you make the difference.
I agree. And what do you think that is important in the relationship between your client and you as an agency?
A good question. What I think is very important is that an organization also understands the recruitment point of view. Okay, you can hire 10 recruitment agencies and just tell them all, hey, we need a data engineer, and whoever finds somebody, shoot them over. But I don't think that's where you should get commitment. So I think there should be trust between the client and the recruiter, and that
Mm.
you should be the one, maybe one or one of the two that is looking for them. And if you find candidates that you, because what I would do is I would give the priority to my fixed clients. If they are giving me the trust, then I would give my good candidates to them first, and everything that's left will go to the clients that don't give me the trust. So basically, as an organization, you are always getting the lowest candidates in the market, and I don't think many organizations understand it. They think the more recruiters are looking, the better, but you're
Yeah.
only scraping the bottom candidates.
Mm.
So I think
Maybe.
you should make a choice and try to find a recruiter that you have a good relationship with, who is an expert in the field that he's searching for. So you cannot be an expert on everything, and just work with them for those roles and give them the trust that they will find it for you. I think that's really
Yeah.
important.
And that's funny, right? Because eventually you also need to grade your clients to know what you can prioritize, because eventually you also want to make sure that you can help your candidate and not just waste their time as well.
Yeah,
um, but on the other hand, then a company thinks, okay, let's just add 10 more agencies because that will increase the chance. But as an agency, I
yeah.
would not work with you. But
I completely understand that line of thought, because that's how many organizations think. But I think that's the wrong way to go, and I think yeah, you'll eventually you'll have shorten the chance, or you lower the chance of getting the right people.
mm,
So Anthony, yeah, the half an hour is already almost up. Do you have any last questions or things you wanted to share?
last
Maybe share
question.
specifically for other recruiters or other managers that are in retail, or and that need digital or data engineers or digital professionals.
Yeah, I would say, because people are more working from home, the things that really matter are the relationships. You will see that, in the people that you can attract, but you will also see it in the people that are willing to help you. Um, it's not the case that you can just send out 100 emails and that you will magically find your candidate nowadays. I think a lot now comes through your network or through the network of your network. Um, so yeah, work on your relationships. That's
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's why I think our relationship worked really well, because well, it's not just that you were always available, like would call even in the evenings. You would give me a very good explanation of what was going on, and then it was for me really easy to accept it. Like, no, but because of this reason, okay, fine, I accept it immediately. And I think that transparency that you created was that's amazing for us to work with. So thank you for that.
No worries. And a week later, we still made it work. So
You're
yeah,
almost done. You finished
yeah,
the job.
right.
What's next for
So
you?
what's next for me? We'll probably go on an other assignment. Next to this, I also still assist some of my clients, of course, because I'm on my assignments. I don't have all the time to work on other roles, but I have to say, once you go agency, you can never really, really, really get out of it.
Okay, I thought you would have like a nice rhyme. Once you go, like you never go back, but once you go agency, I wouldn't know what would rhyme with agency. No, let's not get into that right now. Anthony, thank you so much. I always love talking to you, and we will stay in contact throughout the next years because we really like to help organizations and also the candidates, and I think that's one of the kind of people that I want to hang out with. So thank you for now, and I wish you a nice. I see it's a rainy rest of your day.
I think it's right, but thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, talk to you soon.
Okay, bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.